for you and the power you possess.
Hello everyone, thanks so much for joining me here today as we get to talk about one of my most favorite subjects, comic books. My name is Jose. I love comic books. I love talking about them. I love sharing them with you. Today we are going to be looking at Wonder Woman 105 from 1996, written and drawn by the one and only John Byrne. John Byrne is a master storyteller, and this series I particularly like because his art is very chaotic. I'm going to say that in a good way. It's very chaotic. And what I mean by that is I think he's just working on, not per se on just inks, but I think he is not doing full pencils and he's just drawing with the ink. And you can see here that he is laying a lot of ink. And if you are used to John Byrne, this is a little bit different. This isn't your typical John Byrne. If you're used to his '80s work, he for Wonder Woman, the dude started slinging ink, and it's beautiful, and I really enjoy it. So, this is his return to DC Comics after the Superman debacle that he just did not have very much fun. So this starts a new storyline, and I have covered the first 101 through 104 already. So we're going to try to do the entire John Byrne Wonder Woman run. Because it's underrated, and a lot of people are, into just the Fantastic Four. Real quick here, she is going into this museum on Gateway City, and here are the credits. A lot of people are just used to the Fantastic Four type of thing, but his work started evolving, and although you can really real quick, because if I don't say it, you may not get it. So she says that she has an appointment and that she's Wonder Woman. Of course, she doesn't believe her, and so she picks her up, but because she is, of course, really Wonder Woman. And I just love artists whose work evolves, and that is something that I think with this particular version of John Byrne, it really does, because this ink slinging, like you can see on the hair, you just don't see that very often. So I really enjoyed it. I just seeing this, I really, like I said, I really liked it. So here the mom and daughter are having an argument. She apparently had been grounded for breaking curfew. And, the kids, of course, being a kid. And so Wonder Woman is introduced to her. So, so Wonder Woman has a job with her. So the professor's gonna go talk to Wonder Woman and tells her daughter to stay right there until she returns. She basically, because of Wonder Woman, she says she's lived through a lot of the stuff that she's studying, so she wants to show her some of the stuff. And here the little girl is thinking, she's 14, and how old does she have to be to get to live her own life, which I think is very funny. So she sits there. So she sits there, but she decides that maybe if she were to help her mom clean, that she can show her that can be responsible. And of course, as she's cleaning, she sees this, and of course touches that switch, which brings that statue to life. Real quick, I've always found these little ticks to be, and it's not just John Byrne, all the artists would do it, and it's a way to create. I personally don't do it, but it's a way, I guess, to create depth per se. But these little lines over here and over here, they just it's very old school. You don't see a lot of the newer artists where they work on comics do that anymore. They don't all draw with all these marks anymore. So Wonder Woman and the doctor or the professor are talking in the office when she's talking about that robot warrior, and they hear that crash. Of course, that little girl's like, help, help, help. And so Wonder Woman tells them that it won't harm the child, but punches her. And so she takes off her, it looks like a robe, I think, is what she was wearing, but she had her costume underneath it. And off she goes. I also like the way he does the lasso, just a black line and then just put the little things that make it glowing. Keep it simple. Again, look at John Byrne, just absolutely beautiful. So here's the girl and that robot or that statue. Is she tries punching it. And Wonder Woman just doesn't know how to stop it, and the girl blames herself. So we're going to move on to now to, as John Byrne has kind of been weaving another layer into the story. And so Jason Blood is walking into this store in the occult, and the old man comes. He's the servant of Morgan Le Fay. Jason Blood, his name is Worley. He says it's not possible because he'd seen him die. And so he says he saw him engulfed, but that's not the same thing. So uses his magic to get him in prison, using all the books, all the paper, to kind of build like a rope around him per se. And so we get a little bit of backstory of how he took the Philosopher's Stone and gives it to Morgan Le Fay. Worley just craves power, and Morgan, he had used the stone against her. So again, we're just kind of going by, we're just retelling kind of of how we're here. So Morgan Le Fay was imprisoned here, and he summons this creature, but things are going wrong, and they escape, but so does Morgan Le Fay, and of course she's angry at him, and he begs her to save him. And so she did save him, but he's been punished for the actions, and now he's a living pestilence. He's consumed. He's in pain every minute of every day. But he says it's nothing compared to the fate that's surrounding him. And so he uses a branding thing and brands his forehead for Morgan Le Fay. And then we go back then to Wonder Woman fighting. I love the fact that I've always believed in comic books, you gotta have a little action with your drama. It can't be drama all the time. I do love, this is one of the things I like about the old school comic books, is they really did have action and adventure, everything, in 22 pages. So here's all this destruction. John Byrne has drawn a lot of destruction in these couple of issues, so that thing was not enough, and so Um, the little girl's trying to help Wonder Woman, but Wonder Woman's like, Cassandra, you gotta get out of the way. And so they're running to the edge of that dock where there's nowhere else to go. I mean, I suppose you can jump in the water. And the weight causes the statue to fall in. And so Wonder Woman does jump into the water. I don't believe it would be that deep that quickly, but hey, comic books. And that thing gets caught in the sand and finds its way down. So, crisis averted. Wonder Woman praises Cassandra, where the mom is like, well, if you hadn't done that, but of course, I love the eyes, rolling them. Wonder Woman, like I said, continues to praise her for that. So they kind of have a little jest at the end, as Wonder Woman basically says, "Don't do that again." And she's, the professor's like, "Oh boy, the budget's gonna go out if this happens all the time." So we now go to that bookstore. Now here is the Phantom Stranger, who is like an occultist. There'll be a link to in the description below, where you can click on the DC Wiki, and you'll be able to kind of, if you have any interest on the background of some of these characters, you can take a look and see their origin and stuff. So this is the Phantom Stranger here. You can also follow me on social media, and the descriptions are also on the description below. I post a lot of my artwork. So now we're going to look at number 106 with another great cover by Byrne. Again, a lot of ink slinging that he's doing. So Wonder Woman's sort of flying out there. Beautiful. John Byrne, he had a great run on She-Hulk as well. I'd strongly recommend you check that out. So she's in that gateway city and heading to her job. Cassandra called her, and she's wearing that Wonder Woman shirt underneath. Cassandra thinks it's very cool that she is working for her mom, and she says that she was recommended. So they're going through the museum here, kind of just talking. So the kid's like, Wonder Woman, because she says the young because of how old she is, and Cassandra's like, my mom isn't young, she's like over 30. So anywho, so they walk into the room, and there's the professor cleaning one of the others, those statues. She says the little man had been looking for her. Wonder Woman asks who it was, and he left a card for him, or for her. So, and that would have been, of course, the guy that defeated Jason Blood in the previous issue. And so, they're looking at this tapestry here. And so he had brought this tapestry to them, and they suggest that she call him. And of course, She does. And she says that her knowledge on the tapestry is a little bit limited. Um, so she asked if they examined the piece and asked if she's touched it. She again says that that's not her field. And he says, of course it isn't, but that's only to my advantage. And they're like, not again, as they all come alive. And she tells everyone to get behind her and says that they're strong, which is something coming from Wonder Woman, who is one of the strongest characters. And of course, this is Morgan Le Fay in there. And Morgan tells him that he's supposed to capture Wonder Woman alive and not harm her, because if something happens to her, she'll take it out on Worley before she dies, because she needs Wonder Woman. This is what I mean about John Byrne's art. He is just, I don't think he's doing full pencils by this, meaning I don't think he's working on a I don't know. It looks to me like he's going straight to ink, like he's just doing a little bit of a layouts and then going straight to ink and actually drawing in ink. So the monsters or the things are running amok in the museum. Of course, the Phantom Stranger has arrived and tells everybody to calm down as part of his power. And so they're trying, these things are trying to trap Wonder Woman. And then here you can see the silhouette of the, or the shadow of the Phantom Stranger. I love the eyes in there. So, and she's running away. And apparently the Phantom Stranger gave her an idea. And she is burning the tapestry, which burns them. And so they asked how she knew, and of course she doesn't know, but of course it was the Phantom Stranger. Wonder Woman recognizes this from the records on the Justice League. He says he apologized for taking so long, but he's been trying to do some investigating. Someone's been manipulating the mystic energies, and so he's kind of narrowed it down to this area here. And so she gives him the card and sees Worley's name. He said, I never thought it or even occurred to me to look there, because he believed that he and his mistress were dead. Now, this part here, we are somewhere else, but I don't know where, because he never indicates if this is still in that museum or if this is a lab somewhere else. But this doctor is trying to create, to bring back this little cat that was his kids. And he's called Dr. Lazarus, of course, because, hey, why not when you're dealing with the so I'm not going to bore you. They're just explaining how it works and whatever, but essentially they're creating this cat again, and when the kid goes to touch it, it explodes. And he says that matrix is unstable, and he's looking for Chris, and Chris is here, injured. And so we go back to Morgan Le Fay, who was watching as the Phantom Stranger shows up, and she's upset because there's always an intruder, and she decides she's going to use Jason Blood Worley tries to stop her, but she doesn't let him, and says that it is now time to use the demon. And so she does the spell and has the demon rise. So, which concludes then issue 106. So, real quick here, so we can see here that John Byrne's been playing with the Jack Kirby creation. So, of course, in the first he had Darkseid and the New Gods. Now he's got the demon. So he's playing homage to Jack Kirby creations. So, as I mentioned, follow me on social media. Links on the description below. Also, I have a link to the DC Wiki if you want to know a little bit more about these characters. Thanks for listening. Bye.